I hate to hear people arguing. I hate fireworks. I hate to feel like all this stress from life. And for me, peace is always something I valued. Even when I was a young kid, if I would hear my parents argue, or uh, even though I would go to clubs and loud areas, I liked to be in the cut. I liked quietness. Not an isolationist, but I liked peace. I liked that calm feeling when the stress is very low. Okay. Because I'm a realist. I know in life you have to push yourself and put some stress on yourself. Push yourself to get to the gym, push yourself to improve your career. All these things require some level of stress. If you have no stress in life, you have no growth. If you have no growth, even though you think you're beating the system, you're really beating yourself, because uh, life requires, in order for you to feel good about yourself, stress. And, that's the first step. How do you live in peace? Well, one is, if you're not taking care of yourself, even if you can figure out a way to live cheap, even if you can figure out a way to get away with not doing certain things and being lazy, you're not going to feel good about yourself. You're going to have anxiety. Anxiety is unused energy. You could do nothing, but the stress of doing nothing will be hard on your soul. You won't have peace. Believe it or not, when you wake up early, you're productive, you find time for self-care, and you're exhausted at the end of the day, as long as when you come home, there's a peaceful environment, that's the peace you seek. Now, even people who are very productive and get the most out of their life, they don't come home to peace. They come home to contention. But it takes two to tango. As I get older, I never want to hear the hard story about two people willingly living with each other, because I've been down that road. I empathize with them, but they know they're smart. They're not dumb. Remember, treat people like an adult, but treat yourself like an adult. Is that people choose to stay. And you got to, good to see you, Tony. People choose to stay in dysfunction. Remember, dysfunction, which is the total opposite of peace. If you want hell on earth, be in a dysfunctional household, dysfunctional relationship. I remember I dated a girl and we were really cool. Good people. Me and her family were cool. And years later, I saw her sister and her mother in a store. And we were just talking about life. And I remember asking the mother, we ended up talking about relationships, of course, but it was just like a friendly chat. And this was when I was starting to get into my 20s. I was starting to try to figure out life, okay? Try to figure out what makes the best life possible, right? And so I remember asking the mother, I said, well, what about your relationship? Do you feel like you're in a healthy relationship? And the question shocked her, because people ask you, maybe, are you single? Are you in a relationship? Do you have kids? But no one asks you. People ask you if you're married, but they never ask you, are you in a healthy relationship? So I asked her that. Here I was in my 20s, young 20s, and she looked at me a little bit, and she paused to answer. And right there, that's always if someone has to pause to answer, they're not. But after she paused and she kind of gave a little smirk, she goes, well, it may be healthy for him, but not for me. Well, there's never going to be peace, because the relationship would have to be reciprocal. Okay. I talked to a friend today, just a friend, okay, and one of the few people I still talk to, and we were both just building on different stuff in life, and telling about his family. I was telling about where I'm at in my journey, and we were both just building and then sharing mutual respect. The energy was mutual. And when that's the case, that's peace. There's not a fight for who's right, who's wrong. There's a lot of space given. Okay. Tony says, that's a great question to ask. You damn right. I am going to ask cute girls that are in a relationship that question from now on. Well, I wouldn't do that, because then you're initiating a game. You're not asking out of sincerity. You're asking out of sarcasm, or you're trying to bait them into a conversation. And that's immaturity. You don't want to do that. You know, like if the opportunity presents itself, because you said, and why would I say that to you? Because you said cute chicks. Like, notice that Tony didn't say, I'm going to ask some ugly person that I don't like if they're in a healthy relationship. You know, it takes two to tango. A lot of men get burnt and then they wonder why, is because they're trying to get the best looking girl they can. Remember, if you're not working on yourself, you'll never have peace. You could have the best looking person, man or woman. You could have a great job. Okay. But peace, and you need all those things. Because again, you can't find peace sleeping, not doing anything, and napping all day. And you think you're getting away from doing things, but you feel bad about yourself. Other people don't respect you. You don't respect yourself because you got more talent than to, unless you're a complete vegetable. No one should just sloth around all day. Again, always exceptions for the very elderly and the very sick, okay? But peace is positioning your life. And, look, can you find peace if you're smoking weed, alcohol, drugs? No. There's no peace in substance abuse, period. You could cut that apple a million ways, but there's not. Gambling, too many risky investments. Like I said, there's nothing wrong. You want to add some fun in your life, some adventure, some risk, etc. But you know when the lines are crossed. I've known, okay? And it doesn't matter if weed is legal, alcohol is legal, cigarettes are legal, fantasy football legal, day trading is legal. I'm not saying you can't do any of those things. But if they have such a hold on your life that those things, if you don't do them, then you're not enjoy life. It's like, and I understand, because I understand like not wanting to stop smoke cigarettes. And I was like, man, will I ever be happy if I don't smoke cigarettes? But I fought it. Same thing with too many risky investments. I've walked away from that for a while. Look, if you can balance things out, everyone has a different temperament. Some people can't even watch porn to go crazy. I can. So it's like, everyone's different, But I want to share with you getting control of yourself and being honest with yourself and not trying to change other people. Change yourself. I never want to hear a story about how someone else is stealing your peace. Because unless you're abducted, you either give away your peace or you try to steal someone else's. And like I say, as an adult, you have to protect your peace, boundaries, block. And the more you protect your peace, the more you take care of yourself, the less you will allow anyone in your life that brings havoc. And there's a lot of people, not a lot, but there's a few that'll bring havoc, but only because you allow it. Okay. Let's go back to these live comments. Twisted. Hello, everyone. Sam, I met this new girl at work. Oh, here we go. And she was flirting with me like crazy. I've been crazy focused on the mission. But after today, she knocked me off my focus. I don't want to dance with the devil, but my mind is playing tricks on me. Well, one is, thank you for sharing. Two is, that's human. I've been there. We've all been there. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. I don't want you to walk around your life and never enjoy flirtatiousness or courting. However, I want you to acknowledge that 50% of relationships end in a divorce. Most people are in an unhealthy, unequal relationship. There are a few exceptions, but even the few exceptions, relationships are a lot of work. And you have to remember, a girl may like to flirt, but that doesn't mean she likes you. She may just like the attention. She may just feel good about herself, and that doesn't make her evil. Because again, there's a lot of ugly girls, I'm sure, that tried to flirt with you, but you probably didn't even think about it. You just kept making donuts. Guys and girls, both, you must remember that you put someone on a pedestal. I have put someone on a pedestal. And when you can respect the person you're flirting with and respect just the connection you would make with someone without obsessing over it, that takes a lot of maturity. It took me maturity. Then it's good, but you also got to discipline the mind, because you can't blame them. You're human. But I do believe, definitely for men, maybe women, you got to masturbate once a day, Why? Because I believe that that's your body's a machine. You have a reproductive system, a respiratory system, a cardiovascular system. All these systems need to work and they need to flush. If you don't use your reproductive system, you're going to be backed up. You're going to get emotionally weak. You're going to flirt. And before you know it, you're going to be like a sick puppy dog. Have I been there? Of course, I'm human. Especially in your 20s. You're still, remember, the human brain does not fully develop till 25. So finding peace and harmony at 25 is very hard. Finding peace and harmony at 35 is very hard because most people by then have at least one kid, a lot of entanglements, maybe a pet, maybe a house, and it's tough. Finding peace in your 40s, you can't get the renovation right. The floors don't match. The paint is not inspiring. You're renovating your way to hell. And in your 50s and 60s, you realize, man, I spent all this time trying to make this house perfect, but I want less stuff to take care of. In your 60s and 70s, you're trying to get rid of stuff so you can find peace. In your 80s, you want peace with the Lord because you know there's another dimension, and even if there isn't, you want peace before you die. When I go see my mother before she goes to sleep, she's got church music playing. Do I respect that? Hell yeah, I respect that. I mean, I respect that. I shouldn't say hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, church music, not my thing. I listen to Cameron, I listen to other stuff, but peace is my thing. Okay. And I know when I'm in a house that doesn't have peace, this is a great example I want to share. We'll go back to live comments. Everyone can testify to this, man and woman. When you're young, you go to different houses of your friends. And each one of your friends, when you go to the house, it has a different energy. It has a different aura. Some houses are very hectic. Some are dark. Some are fun. And some have peace. None of them are perfect. Every family has imperfection. But you find it when you feel at peace somewhere, there's nothing like it. When you feel like you're unwelcome, when you feel like there's a toxic situation, no one needs to tell you, you feel it. Same thing when I look at home bases, I feel the energy in different environments. And that's the one thing you can't get online is feeling that energy. As you get older, you value peace more. Why? Because as you get older, it's not as much about dating. It's not as much about even making money once you've established a level of financial freedom. And it's not about the rush of a substance abuse or a risky investment, because you've learned that if you're living below your means, if you're producing an income, you shouldn't have to make $1 million on Bitcoin. You shouldn't have to drink beer every night to enjoy your night. At least for me, you want peace. You grow up with, and I drank alcohol when I was young, it's a party thing. But I remember, as you get older, you're going to have girlfriends and stuff like, oh, it's time for wine. Let's put the kids to bed. They're drinking wine. Your skin is cracking. You know what I mean? They're doing renovations. That's not cute, man. For me, you say, well, I don't think it's cute to drink spring water living in your car. Well, again, that's why I live by myself. I don't live with you, okay? Because to me, peace is living by yourself. I'm not lying about that. Click that thumbs up. Share this video, okay, with everyone you know that lives with people that they're not in peace with. All right, so that's the core of my message tonight. Show up, do what you need to do, and build your life. The best part about being an adult is you get to choose who you live with and what you do and how you do it. If you put in the work of your life. If you roll around and you try to get out of, you got to work in 2021, you got to work harder to do nothing. You got to work harder to make less than ever before. And if you put that little effort into your life, no one can help you. Your boyfriend, your sister, your mother, your brother, your friend, not even your pastor, not your therapist. Why? Because you know what it is. These people are not dumb. I'm not dumb. I know when I was doing, you know what you need to do. Okay? You're not dealing with dumb people in this world, okay? But you also know that some people just want to play the game. And that's why you got to have boundaries. That's why you got to build up yourself. Because the people who don't feel good about themselves, they want to tear you down. Why? Because they don't have peace. I remember I worked with a guy, he was getting in a conflict with another guy. And I remember he put up this posting, which I agree with. He says you can't build yourself trying to break someone else. And that's what the guy was doing. He's playing a game. He's trying to get the other person in trouble. Yeah, if you're trying to do this, the same premise with the trolls and the thumbs down. You're trying to break someone else to prove yourself, and that's why you have no peace. That's why you lurk online. That's why you have all those profiles. We know why. We know the mental health of a troll is one of the worst on this planet. Who would spend their time, their energy, and effort to troll? Only someone in an unhealthy place. You don't have to ask them, are they in a healthy relationship? Because they're unhealthy with themselves. It's basic psychology. You know, who goes where they don't like something? Only someone who's looking to cause problems. Okay. And the soul of that type of person is exposed. And for me, hey, to me, one less person you have to deal with, it's the more good people you can see. Because you will meet some people that, you know, are trying to do the right thing, trying to push forward in life. But believe me, you're going to meet a lot of stumbling blocks. Okay, and that's why as an adult, you got to guard your peace. You got to be very selective in your personal relationships. You got to know how to get along with people in your professional relationships. You have to know, okay, that it starts with you, not with someone else. And the minute you're trying to find peace in someone else is the minute you have distracted yourself from the work you need to do on yourself. Okay. All right, we're going to all live comments now. Shout out to you guys. Still holding up good. Still thankful. Twister, shout out to you again. Thank you for sharing. Adam, what's up, brother? Good evening, Sam. I ended up in the hospital today. I had abdominal pain and I had black stool for 2.5 days. They're going to do a colonoscopy on me and went out, finished my route. Well, one is I'm extremely sorry to hear that. Two is I'm sure that stress of being a caretaker with your parents in the house, all that toxicity, and if you're not eating right and anything else, all is playing a part of that. I don't know, but I mean, I can certainly say, and that's what I mean. If you know you don't have the capacity in your house to take care of your family, you need to put them in a nursing home. Why? Because now you're in a hospital. Who's taking care of them? And everyone is hurting. That's why I tell you guys, I empathize with how hard that is. Being a caretaker, hardest job. But like I say, if you can't take care of yourself, you end up in a hospital. The people you're supposed to take care of, they're on their own, and everyone suffers. So remember, it's not selfish to know your limits and to say, we need help. And if you don't know how to get help, go see a social worker in the hospital, go to a government agency. Social workers are government workers to help you navigate the system, to point you in the direction and assist you in getting the help you need. And if you don't want to get help, that's tough. But I certainly, again, do not want to kick you while you're down. I'm just trying to, I love you and I'm sorry you're going through that. Early riser. For me, this has been a week of personal development. Good job. Self-care, good job. A few mistakes. We always make them. Thank God for grace. And we fall, we get back up. And thinking about things logically. There you go. You got to discipline some of your emotion. And trying my best to stand guard at the door of my mind. Well, that's right. Like I tell you, man, you know, the more you manage your time, the less you have to manage your mind. Why? Because the time in the day has tasks assigned to it. And the more idle time, the less you can manage your mind. And it's this negative algorithm. So good job, early riser. And like I said, guys, learn how to manage your own time so people don't have to micromanage you. Because at the end of the day, when you get done what you need to get done, you're good. Yeah, that's good. Hal, holla at your boy. What's up, man? What's good? Doing the best I can. How are you? Congratulations again on passing your audit this week. He goes, my sister called me. Okay, 7 times from a private number. She gives me no peace. Yeah, well, I would change my number 7 times then if she gives you no peace and she still has your number. Why? Because if you change your number and you don't give it to her, there's no way she can get it. Now again, that's if you've tried to rationally talk to her and she doesn't want to listen to rational reason and respect your boundaries, then you got to cut her off forever. That's what I've done in my real life in different instances. So Love to you. ESP. My mom plays church music too. She didn't do that when I was growing up. Yeah, as you get older and as we all get older and we get closer to the upper room, or when you're sick and hurting in the hospital, like Adam, shout to him, you want, at the very least, you want a level of spiritual peace. You don't want to have open conflict. Another reason you don't want to live in open conflict, guys, because anytime anything can happen. Anytime, we get hurt, we get sick, and living in conflict, and then something major happening in your life, health scare or accident, you don't want all these open ends. And to me, again, I want to live in peace. I don't want to live this complicated life where it's a tug of war, etc., etc. Jesse O, my first ever member. Jesse O, shout out to you. You keep pushing forward. I appreciate you. You still back up north? You going back down to Florida this winter or no? I know your job wants you back up here. Twist up. Thank you for your guidance, Sam. You're doing good. I'm just overwhelmed. It's natural. You're human. You're a young person. That's normal. Because I've had laser focus. Well, yep. It's good that you got knocked off it. Why? Because we all get knocked off. It's human. And you may not really pass this test that well. You may or may not. But this is part of life. The biggest thing you have in your favor is you don't have kids. Even if you go through a nasty breakup, it's one thing. But once you have kids, it's very hard to get out of that rut, especially when you have kids with someone who's on a different page than you. So my advice to men and women is be very careful who you have kids with. Use protection. If you know you don't want to have kids, get a vasectomy or tie your tubes. And if you get pregnant with the wrong person, get an abortion. That's 100%. Yep. Focus on, tunnel vision. Yeah. Be careful. That's why you got to masturbate once a day. And that's why you got to take care of yourself well. And remember, it's very unattractive when you get too obsessed with someone. It's very attractive when you just naturally work on yourself. Good job. Twista, love to you, Adam. I agree. Take it easy, man. I know in my life, high stress led to, decline in health. I am watching that so closely in my own life, and I've tried to make improvements in my life, and I still monitor it. Wood brings me stress. Not enough boundaries with family. Wood brings me stress. Being in too crowded of a location, too much traffic, wood brings me stress. Sometimes the commitment of a home base, wood brings me stress. Now, sometimes you need stress. You need stress to push your career. You need stress. Sometimes you need to buy a home base. Okay. If I didn't buy a home base, guys, I would have never pushed my career. I'd be living very below my potential. But like I say, slow to buy, quick to self-care. Why? Because I know that in order to have ultimate peace, you have to have moments of stress. But I want to make sure that I deploy my energy and my resources to things that are worth stressing over, not over a simple fix. Okay. Good job. ESP. So sorry to hear that, Adam. I agree. Twista and ESP, I appreciate you showing love to Adam. Early Riser. Early Riser said, that's a great point, Sam, about managing your time. I fully agree. Yeah. Less idle time, less trouble you can get into. Now, again, as an adult, I don't want to be micromanaged. I work very hard to establish myself, improve myself, that I don't want someone hovering over my shoulder. Like I say, you know what I learned working in the office and working remote and working construction is that, and I saw someone today working construction, they were getting hollowed out by their foreman, which I've been there, and I've been a foreman. What I've learned is that if you've proven yourself, you shouldn't need to be micromanaged, and you shouldn't be on this like old standard clock. If you get done what you need to get done. Okay? Like as an example, like I'd be in an office and, out of an 8-hour day, 4 hours are very productive. They say the most productive hours in a day are 8 a.m. to noon. That's when most shit gets done. But the other 4 hours in the office are people bullshitting. They're talking about their families. They're in the bathroom. They're fucking watching Netflix. So a lot of it is just a show. So, to me, I've seen it. I've lived it. And I'm talking about at high levels, at low levels. Okay. A foreman come on a job or a foreman come out of the trailer. Now, look, there's exceptions. And there's some people that are workhorses. And there's some people that are lazy. Most people are average. But like I say, to me, the whole reason you take the promotion is because if you don't take the promotion, someone else has to manage your time. And for me, I don't need someone micromanage me. I get shit done that I need to get done. Okay. And that's it. And that's why I worked hard to move up, because I don't need someone babysitting me. Okay? Now we all need help. I have questions. I need help. I pull resources. Okay. And none of us are above correction. But lower level workers get managed more. Why? Because they haven't proven themselves, or they haven't paid their dues. And that's what I say, when in doubt, take that promotion. Because, guys, I've worked at the very low level, and I saw it even with my mom when she worked in a supermarket up to 2 years ago. They got to check in, and every fucking minute you got to be fucking, monitored, okay? Like baby shit. Okay? When you're at the high levels, guys, let me tell you something. Fucking, come on, man. I want to tell you. Bottom line is, you don't need to be micromanaged, but the bottom line is you take the promotion, because even though you're going to have more stress, more responsibility at times, you're going to also have more privilege. But you got more privilege because you put in more work, you paid your dues, and you get done what you need to get done. And you can't have the reward, okay, without the sacrifice. But you don't want to not go after a higher level because you think it's more stress. It's more stress to be a lower level worker. I'm telling you. And get over that shit. Because like I always tell you, I keep it very simple. Either, this is how life goes, and I've been both. Either you're going to get someone else's coffee, or they're going to get yours. And I've done both. Okay. And what I can tell you is, I don't even want someone to get my coffee anymore. Why? Because I don't want to work with people. I want to work remote. Okay. But I gotten coffee for people, and I had people get coffee for me. And now some of those people moved up. They got other people getting coffee for them. Okay? And that's how life should be. At least for me. Why? Because to me, again, peace for me is not being micromanaged. But everyone's different. Everyone's different on that. Like, back to these live comments. Twisted. You know what? F my coworker, Sam. Well, easy now. Don't get too excited. I'm going to masturbate. There you go. And get back to the grind. Well, I recommend that. Yeah, and I wouldn't. Look, one is you're at Dunkin' Donuts. You're still at a very low level. You got to get into Starbucks, and you got to get your foot in the door in an engineering firm, etc. You got to get that. Your mission is not to stay in Dunkin' Donuts. You got to get the fuck out of there, because there's only so long you can work in Dunkin' Donuts, guys. How many donuts do you make? It's all the same shit. How much coffee do you make? You're smarter. Twisted. The way you comprehend information, the way you write your comments, you should not be in Dunkin' Donuts this time next year, even this time by April of next year. And if you are not serious about that, it doesn't mean you're going to get an engineering job, but it means it's time for you to experience something else. You're too smart, too much talent, and you got no kids, you got no major responsibilities. You can take some risk. Now's the time to move around. And you've worked at Dunkin' Donuts long enough. You're not a job hopper. Because now you got Dunkin' Donuts down so packed. You know how to make the hazelnut coffee. You know how to make the fucking Dunkin' Donuts, the bagels, all that shit. Now you got this extra time. You're looking at this young girl who looks good now, but look at her mother when she picks her up. She ain't gonna always look good. And you're looking at her butt. You're looking at the crease of her butt in those brown dookie stained fucking Dunkin' Donut outfits would look like shit. Okay. And you got nothing to do but go into the dirty hallway of Dunkin' Donuts, sit down, and talk to her about her delusionary hopes for the future. That's not that elitist shit, man. I want to tell you right now, if you get with that girl, you might as well get a cat. Okay. You might as well get a shitty duplex house. Okay. And you might as well get a beer belly and sign up for fantasy football. Okay. Because that is the total opposite of where you should be headed. Now, is it easy? No, you're young. But thank God you're young with no pets, no kids. And thank God that you're smart. Because, not everyone has your abilities. And I'm telling you right now, the number one reason people stress is relationships. And the number one reason many people start relationships is lust. And then number two, the reason they stay in there is financial dependency. And then number three is emotional dependency. You put the pussy on a pedestal, or you put the the penis on a service dog leash. And the problem is, if you can't sleep alone, then if you can't sleep alone, you're going to end up sleeping in separate rooms. And if you sleep in separate rooms, guys, you might as well be dead, okay? Because why are you living with someone you don't even sleep in the same room? And if you got to split the bills, you got a financial problem. You know what I mean? Like, what you doing with the money? Okay. And this is definitely for people with no pets, no kids. If you got pets and kids, then, look, that's what it is. But, look, peace is something you got to protect and you got to take serious. A lot of people don't take it serious. I see a guy, I want to share this real quick. I know I'll go back to these live comments. I appreciate everyone out there. I love you. Jesse, stay with me. This is guy I see lately while I'm up here in Jersey. And he's got this vacation house, little spot. And I think he may got a house in PA or something. But he owns this investment property. And he likes it because it's like quiet. You know what I mean? It's, we're in fall, so there's not a lot of shit. And what he found is he's like doing some renovations on his vacation property or his investment property. And he's been staying there for a couple of weeks. And his wife said, when you coming back? But see, when he's at this place, he can go out to dinner whenever he wants. He can work on his laptop as long as he wants. He has the house to himself. And he has his day to himself, his time to himself. And I'll tell you, the peace is like, you see the aura, you see the blue energy around him. Like, when people, like, don't go home right away after work, and when you go, I don't know, man. To me, when your day is not your own day, there's a lot of red energy, like dark energy. The whole aura, your mood ring changes, your colors and shit. You say, well, that's me. I hate that. Well, hey, then make some changes. You say, well, what about the kids? Well, I tell you, I've been a child in a house where both people don't get along. And I thank God for divorces because that's not blessing those children. And when you're unhappy, believe me, your mood ring changes. And everyone sees how miserable you are. You can hide it, but you can't hide your energy. Okay. And let's go back to these live comments. Thank you for listening. Sorry for the long thing. Twister was also saying, I just got overwhelmed, focused on GTFO, my current life situation for the longest time. And after flirting, tunnel vision is on the cooch. Oh, yeah, I read that right. Yeah, that's okay. And Twister was also saying this about that girl. The Latina MILFs are waiting for me at the finish line. Well, yeah, and remember, the Latino MILFs is just a figment of your imagination. Because you can go to free porn every night. You can watch any type of MILF. And if you're a woman, I know women may not be into porn. They may not be like that type of mindset. Look, if you're a woman, watch a Hallmark movie and eat chocolate with your ugly outfit on. Because like I know, you like your own damn space. I think, look, in a modern society, most people want to be by themselves, but most people don't want to work on themselves. And that's why most people stay in misery. They don't have peace. Early riser. I get up in the morning between 4 to 4:30 a.m. Clock in for work at 5:30 a.m. Yeah, I've been there. That's one is like, yeah, I get up around 5 a.m. But yeah, I understand what you're saying, early riser. Good job, and I appreciate your tag name. That's wisdom. Jesse, my first ever member. Sam, these house prices are crazy, even up north, no doubt. I am looking for some land. Where at? And I'm going to need 2 jobs to even qualify for a $500K home. It's sad, middle class really's gone. You sound like a guy I work with. $500K is not middle class, it's upper middle class. That's way too much money for a single person with no pets, no kids. So Jesse O, if you have to work 2 jobs for a house, you're getting out of control. One is you're out of 500K is way too much money. I mean, again, Jesse, you do what you want. You're my first ever member, but I never want to be dishonest with you. I want to, again, respect you. But in my opinion, the whole reason that we live below our means, the whole reason that we don't have to live in a car, we can live in a modest house, so we can rent a smaller apartment. The whole reason is to have peace and joy, not to work 2 jobs. Now, again, I work, actually right now, I got 2 jobs mainly. My main job in this. I got investments and I got DoorDash always on the side. But for me, the whole reason is because a lot of this extra side hustles I do is for, not for I have to do it. It's because I want to do it, and I know if I do it, I got to put in the work for my future goals, but I'm under no pressure or obligation. And that's what allows me to talk directly to you guys. That's what allows me to, you know what I mean, be myself and do things how I want to do them. If I, even today, as great a position as I'm in, I'm struggling with if I even buy a 200K house. Why? I could do it and probably not be tight, but I like to be loose. I like to be flexible, even if I'm going to add some stability, and I'm going to buy a home base eventually. So to me, 500K is way too much money for even the upper middle class. It is. And there's no reason for that much house. And you said, well, I can't find a house below that. Well, I don't know where everyone's looking, because I did videos, and I did videos in the area you like in Florida, and I could do videos in New Jersey, but depends where you go. I don't know. I'm not really in the house market in New Jersey, so I don't want to talk about that. But to me, one is don't buy a house where you don't want to live. That's number one. Then number two is you got a house after a child. A house is your biggest expense. If you get that wrong, you will never have peace in your life. And if you get it wrong, you got to sell and reset and rent. Rent is good when you don't know what direction, or nomad is good when you don't have a permanent direction. Okay. Because if you get the purchase price of your house wrong, you will be on that rat race forever. Okay. And with no kids and no pets, there's no need to rush. Even with hyperinflation, I would slow the fuck up. Okay. I would moonwalk. I'd go backwards instead of say, hey, I got out of control. Let me change my filter on realtor.com. Let me change my search criteria on Zillow. Remember, guys, I had a 1,000 square foot condo, gated community. It would be considered upper middle class. And out of that 1,000 square foot apartment as a single person, and even when I had people over and I, even different times people living with me, and even when I had a pet, guys and girls, I use my bed, the bathroom, and the kitchen. 200 square feet. And most of the time, not even in the house. I'm working. I'm outside. I'm doing things. I was going out. Even now, I wouldn't be in the house that much. So why are you going to allocate so many resources to something you're going to underutilize so much? And if you're going to buy a 500K house so all your family can live with you, talk to Adam, who's in the hospital. God forbid, don't mean to mock that. You don't want a house where people can come live with you, maybe one person. And that's if there's an emergency. If you got a 5-bedroom house and you got 5 people living with you, good luck with that. Shout out to Gianna. You'd be better off to buy a 200K house, keep 300K in the bank, and then if a relative or a great friend gets sick, you help them pay. Okay, you subsidize them for a house or assisted living. And you'd have more peace and they've had better care. A big house is not good because everyone can live with you. And even if they're your mother, your brother, your sister, if everyone lives with you, it would be so unhealthy, so stressful, no peace. I talked to my mom. I said, Mom, if you would have bought this or that, everyone be with you, and it'd be toxic. And I know because I lived through my childhood, okay? And I could tell you, when you got too many people in the same house, I don't care who they are, it's toxic. You need a uncomplicated life. Okay. You don't need to chase inflation. You don't need to chase day trading. You need to slow up, let the money come to you, let the chicks come to you, let the dick come to you, okay? Because when you're doing your thing, you are in control. Okay, you got peace. When you're chasing your anxiety out the wazoo, and I understand I'm human, I still feel it and go through it, and that's why I make these videos. I listen to my own videos sometimes, and I pull myself back. And, I share with you guys when I've been in, and that's why I repeat to myself, when in doubt, don't buy. When in doubt, go for a walk. Okay, I do all these things. When in doubt, take the promotion. I do all these things. And I want to tell you, I value peace very much. But I don't want to have to date a girl that has healing rocks to find peace. She don't have peace. She got a service dog for anxiety. And she got healing rocks. I don't want to date a guy to share the bills because I don't want to work or I don't want to look for another subsidy. I don't want stress. Some stress we need because we have to do that in order to push forward in life. But we don't want unnecessary stress. Uncomplicate your life and you'll find peace. All right, back to these live comments. Thank you for your patience. ESP. Speaking of the promotion, I had my Zoom interview today. I think it went well. Fingers crossed. Prayer emoji. I believe in you, ESP. If you don't get the promotion, what should you do? Apply again to another one. If you want to work remote or you want to work in Alaska, same situation. Why? Look, again, figure out where you want to live. And if you want to work remote because you don't know where you want to live, if you don't get the job, it took me about 3 to 4 times to apply for different remote jobs. And I'll tell you right now, if you don't get it, apply again. Okay. Why? Hey, you got to go after what you want in life. Ain't no one going to just hand it to you. Okay. And if you don't get it, accept it with grace. Okay. That really helped me a few times. And if you do get it, accept it with gratitude. And if you get it, and if you're working remote, don't stay in Alaska. If you got remote job to leave Alaska, don't stay there. Like I know some people, they got a remote job and then they go back to the office. Now, it's because they don't like the house they're in. They need a break. But to me, that's not the answer. Then you need to change your household situation. If you don't enjoy spending a lot of time in your house, to me, something wrong, man. That's my opinion. That's that's how I feel. Because I love being by myself. I love being remote. I hate I hate talking about, oh, how you doing? How you doing? I hate that shit, man. That's me. Everyone's different. But I told you, I got a remote job so I can be remote. I didn't get a remote job so I can go back to where I was at. Okay. So, always remember why you do something. Okay. Always remember. All right, back to these live comments. Twista, ESP, thumbs up, prayer emoji. Fingers crossed. Jason, what's up, brother? Jesse, house prices are ridiculous. Building materials are outrageous too. Home Depot prices are tripled. If you buy a house and you're going to Home Depot, you bought too big a house. Don't renovate anything. I know a girl right now. I love this girl. She helped me out. But I want to tell you, this bitch is wilding with these renovations. Okay. She renovating everything 5 times, and she got no peace. Guys, buy a damn RV lot and get a brand new travel trailer called Day. Okay. Buy a small little fucking shit. Rent something small. What you need some big ass Home Depot hell for? Guys, your soul is lost in Home Depot. If you need tools and spackle, guys, I can't. That to me is so complicated. You better get your measuring tool out. And you better get ready to go back to Home Depot 5 times in one day. Because you haven't walked through the valley of the shadow of death. Okay. Until you've gone to Home Depot 3-4 times in one day. And you're so delusional after the 4th trip, you find yourself enjoying the music played on the loudspeaker. You're walking around on the concrete floor, smiling at lighting fixtures. And before you know it, you're in the back of Home Depot taking a shit in the public restroom, looking at your phone, watching me bark in my car. And you are so tired that you barely have the strength to drive back to your renovated shithole. And if you think you're going to find peace in Home Depot, oh, you out your damn mind. If you think they got a backsplash that equals peace, guys, there ain't no backsplash that color. Okay. If you think, they got a light fixture that give you a fluorescent peace color, no, maybe pink. If you're standing in the painting section and you have to pick between semi-gloss, satin, high gloss, flat, and you're watching that paint getting mixed and mixed and mixed, slap the shit out of yourself with the free mixing tool out of your delusionary state of hyperinflation chasing. You're a renovating wreck. The last time you had peace was when you didn't own shit. The last time you had peace was when your landlord was supposed to paint your own shit. The last time you had peace was when you were in the parking lot of a Wendy's eating a spicy grilled chicken sandwich because you were emotionally eating out of your way of a stressful life. I come against every renovation in the name of Jesus, or whatever religion you believe in the name of Elon Musk. If you find a small little cottage and you want to add some finishing touches, praise the Lord. Go to Home Depot, buy one little thing. But even that, I'm very cautious. I like the real estate listings when I say, all you got to do is bring your toothbrush. Oh, I like that. I don't want to bring my hammer. I gave away all my tools. I don't want tools. I want to live a life where I don't have to work 2 jobs for a $500,000 house. Guys, I don't even want to spend over $150. $200 may be my max. But I'll tell you, I'm still considering a $50K countryside lot. But until I find the right one, I'm considering doing nothing. Okay? Never forget it. Yeah. All right, let's go back to these live comments. Thank you, everyone, for being patient with me as I rant a little bit. Twister, thank you so much, Sam. God bless you. God bless you also. I know all your words are pure fact. I'm doing the best I can. You verify everything, and you still live the life you want to live because you have to experience life. And I respect that. I can assure you, dead HIV, COVID serious. Okay, that's serious. It's time to ascend. I hear you. I'm not mad at that. Fuck these low life shit. Yeah, well, I like your intensity. I like that. Yeah, I'll lead us bound. I like your intensity. All right, now you're talking my language. I like that. Adam, I love you. He goes, definitely good subject tonight. We love you, Adam. We all love you. Enjoy listening to you, Sam. We love you. We're praying for you. We know you're not in an easy situation. Hopefully, I can get things figured out for my health. I do, too. I don't wish that on you, and I love you, brother. Jesse O, that's my girl. Yeah, Jesse, man. You haven't been this live feed. Damn, Jesse looking at 500K? Jesse. And plus, look, if you're day trading or you're doing investments, if you got a heavy house note, you're not going to have the freedom, man. You got to mitigate risk. All right, back to these comments. Jesse, at Jason, no joke. There is a small land with just an old barn near the beach. I had my eye on for 3 years. Owner listed it for $700K. I don't even look at anything above. Sometimes I look a little bit above $200K, but I'm not looking at anything above $250. Why? Guys, and I can afford it. Why? I'd also not be free. That's true. Even 200, I don't know. And I know I'm doing good in life. Okay. I know people doing better than me, but I also know I don't think most people, even if they're doing above average, should buy a because you don't need it. Even if you're a millionaire. I mean, I understand asset allocation for a hedge against inflation, But I also know, look, most people are not in that category, okay? And that's way too much money. 500, 700K. She goes, owner just listed 700K. I just even think about competing. I wouldn't even think about looking. You know why? Because again, like, Kim Kardashian, Laura Pippen, they got over 5 million followers. Do I even think about competing with them to date? No, because one is I don't even want to date them. Why? It's way too complicated. You know what I mean? So your peace is more important than your property. Where is my guy / automotive repair apparel designer? I want to give you this quote. We'll put it on a t-shirt eventually when we have a high enough membership. Your peace is worth more than your property. But if your property is worth more than your peace, welcome to home ownership. Never forget it. Early riser. I'm single, never married, no kids, no pets. I feel peaceful. I'll tell you right now, if that doesn't give you peace, I don't know what will. Jason. Jesse. My dad is a realtor. He's telling me to wait until January to buy a house. He's expecting a bubble to burst. Yeah, I don't know if a bubble will burst. I'm sure as we get into late 2022, things will even out. But even if they don't go down, remember, you can buy a house whenever you want if you find it in an area you want below your means. Don't wait till January. Don't wait till 2030. If you can find a property where you want below your means, buy it. I've had psychopaths since I started this channel tell me the real estate bubble is going to burst. It's shot right up over the course of 4 or 5 years. So, again, though, if you're looking for 500-700K houses, guys, to me, even if that thing dropped in half, I wouldn't buy it. That's too much money. So, Jesse, thank you for your words of wisdom, Sam. Yeah, I love you. I had to smack that delusion off your spirit. You always bring me back to the basics. I love you. Enjoy your life. Enjoy the freedom of investing and working without having to work 2 jobs. Enjoy the freedom of not owning responsibility, liability, insurance. And when you buy something, may it bring you peace, not renovations. Jesse, at Jason. That's the word on the street. Yeah, the word on the street been wrong since I've been in the street. Thanks for sharing. Jason, Sam, you're so right. God bless you. I'm always at Home Depot. You know what it is. Buying or returning. I know what it is. I live that life. It never ends. I want to testify that your lowest points in life is when you're going through a suffering and you feel like it'll never end. And it's because you got too much risk and not enough stability. Your life is out of balance. Your life is out of order. Certainly there's exceptions, but in most cases, most stress is self-induced. Like if you buy a house for 500K or even 250K, and then you lose your job, and then there's a recession, and then your investments go bad, a lot of that's self-induced. If you're living with someone it's been toxic for 4 years, all of your stress is self-induced. It's been bad for 4 years. And you got to start with the person in the mirror. As an adult, the best part about being an adult is you don't have a curfew. You don't have to be told what to do. And to give that up so easily, which I see so many people do, they let other people dictate their life, or they don't take responsibility for their life. It's like you might as well just stay a baby, No, I'm good with that. So I hope my videos help you. I appreciate all my members. I'm very grateful. And I'm very grateful that I have boundaries and that I don't need the approval of people. But at the same time, any people then that vibe with me, it's on a reciprocal level. And if it isn't, I don't have to justify myself to them. Because as an adult, I take full authority over my life. Okay. And I never go back to anyone that we don't have that type of relationship. Not worth it. Okay. And this is, again, why we live below our means. It's why we work. It's why we figure out what our passion is, try to make income there. It's why we self-care. It's why we don't have to let people who are not emotionally well tell us about ourselves. You're not well yourself. Who are you to say anything? And so I like peace a lot. Okay. And I know, though, it must be protected. It's not something that is static. Life is fluid. Time is like a river. You can never touch the same spot twice. And peace, to maintain it, there must be a constant evaluation, self-evaluation. And you need, all of us, including me, we need to check ourselves when we get delusional on what we're doing. Other people don't necessarily, that's like other people think they're going to check me. Well, if I live with you, you check me. If I don't live with you, and I'm not bothering you, you ain't checking shit. Okay. You can check your attitude at the door. Okay. Because you don't have, ain't no door to my house. And even if there was, you ain't coming. Okay. Someone get me in a gated community with multi-cameras. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not mad at that. So, early riser. I'm trying my best to be respectful when enforcing my boundaries. I get amped up a little when I'm doing it. Yeah, well, like I say, if you got to get amped up, if you got to yell, if you got to scream with other people, you're in the presence of the wrong people. I get very boisterous on here, and sometimes I get adamant and I scream. But this is just me sharing my mindset. In real life, I don't scream at anyone anymore. I can't remember the last time I got into a serious argument with someone in person. Online, sometimes you debate, you get passionate. In real life, guys, anyone that gets me to that level, I just walk away and I try to avoid them the rest of my life. Not the rest of the day, the rest of my life. Okay. Why? And guys, that's how serious I am about peace. Some people ain't that serious. They're like, I'll let them cool off, then I'll come back. I'm good. Yeah, I'll come back next lifetime. Not even that, I don't think. Okay? Like I tell you, I don't want to be friends with these people in this world or the next. Yeah. They ain't going to change even in the next world. So, I don't think some people at that same level, so that's okay. Thank you again for watching. Take your time, guys. You don't have to rush to end the video. You don't have to rush to buy something. We live below our means. We live up to our potentials. We take the promotion. We're slow to buy. We're quick to get rid of. We don't have storage units. The reason we do this is so that we have a light spirit, a peaceful spirit. A storage unit weighs you down. Living below your potential weighs you down. Naps weigh you down. Unhealthy relationships weigh you down. Living above your means weigh you down. Before you know it, all you are is a greasy mess. You feel like you just ate something loaded with grease. And you got acid reflux. You don't have peace. And I don't want to live that life. I've lived that life at times. Okay. May we, peace is, again, nothing in life is perfect. I wish I could tell you can find one thing and there's going to be peace the rest of your life. It's not true. But I do know this, you can make your life more peaceful. I do know this, you're going to live in hell because you don't even want to go after your best life. You're settling for whatever situation you're in now that you don't like, you're just to settle. And you're going to suffer most of your life. Okay. And I'm not living that life. Now, you got your own situation. You got to figure it out. But I'll tell you this. I did the work to unravel the things I was in and to get to a more inspiring life. And I'm still working on, modifying, always adjusting. But I'm going in a direction of more inspiration, more peace. I'm not going in a direction of stagnant water, of backwards, so we could all fall. There is no pride in these statements. And anytime a disaster could happen, but we can't live our life like every day is going to be a disaster and just hide under a rock, because then you're really not going to have peace. So that is the message. Thank you for watching. See you next one.